we went from one reality to a completely new world.
Yes.
And I can only imagine the challenges that... All right, welcome to the Budo Brothers podcast. It is another beautiful Thursday day, whatever. You could be enjoying this podcast in the morning, evening.
Whether you're on the walk, a gym, just hanging out in your car listening to it.
Training. You know, I wonder where people listen to our podcast.
It would be so interesting to know, actually.
I bet you a lot of people are listening to this driving right now.
Yeah, or walking the dog. Like I guarantee someone's buddy's dog just took a dump and they're just listening to the podcast.
I bet you someone's washing dishes right now. I listen to podcasts when I wash dishes.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate washing dishes.
That's why I have to learn something in order to wash.
I have to listen to music to get through dishes.
Man, see, like when I do something mindless and I like things that I really don't enjoy, like doing dishes, folding laundry. You know, I live out of the dirty pile and the clean pile. So when I fold laundry, when I actually get my act together and put clothes and hang them and fold them, I listen to podcasts. I listen to something that is going to enlighten me. It's going to make me think different. It's going to make me learn something. It's going to make me consider things that I did not consider before.
I also wonder, too, how many people that listen are martial artists or they're not. But speaking of martial arts, we have a topic today, and that is marketing your dojo.
In such a crazy time.
Yes.
And given all the craziness, we can't forget how crazy it has been over the last 10 years. You want to go from marketing your dojo in a phone book, which was the primary mode of bringing in business.
And word of mouth.
Yeah. Like, try and rewind. Man, that's crazy because the reason why I know that is that that's what I used to do. When I was, 10 years old, and I would make my mom call, I would open the yellow pages and I'd be like, go to martial arts. And I would look at all of the martial arts ads and I would look at, and literally that was the marketing game. If you had a dragon on your, that must be cool.
And also why businesses started going AA plus driving, AA.
That's right, because they were first in the list. So
yeah.
A1 martial arts would show up first. But if A1 martial arts didn't have a tiger,
forget about it.
Then you ain't cool. Or a yin yang. You got like one of the others, right? Like that used to be your primary mode of marketing your dojo. Now look at the tools that are available. So, given how much has changed over the last 6 months, I mean, really, we went from one reality to a completely new world.
Yes.
And I can only imagine the challenges that we are all undergoing. There's not a single entity on the planet that has not been challenged by this environment.
Right. But especially martial arts.
For sure.
It's one of the hardest practices to do social distanced.
And guess what? It was hard enough to run a dojo when times were good.
Yeah.
It was hard enough. Like wow.
So, speaking for dojo owners, what would you do right now to market your business?
Just because it's so different now, right? Like before all of this happened, and it all depends on what you're allowed to do and depending on where you're at. Some jurisdictions are not allowed in-person training right now. There's some schools that are still shut down. And I really feel like there's still an opportunity that even if you are shut down, to be putting out content for your students, to be putting out content for future students, to be broadcasting what you do best as the martial arts instructor, which is instruct and teach what you've dedicated your life to. I could be wrong, but I feel like just focusing on outbound. Mm-hmm. You might not be able to train in person, but you can help a lot of people train individually by reaching them through the medium of social media.
Absolutely. And getting creative too, just with how you teach now. Teaching's changed. Mm-hmm. If you don't have an online component to your teaching right now, you're high risk.
It's a disadvantage.
Yeah, and it's high risk because even if you are back to teaching person to person, there's a chance that there could be another wave of the virus, and now you're back to square one.
Mm-hmm.
For a lot of dojos, though, getting new people is going to be challenging, like you said.
Regardless.
And getting awareness is going to be another thing. I 100% agree with you that the first thing you should do is be serving people through putting out content and just helping to share your passion with people, and that's the best way to build awareness. But how do you reach that new person or cross that new set of eyes in order to get them into the dojo right now? And the only way for small businesses, mom and pop shops, service-based businesses to compete right now is in the social media sphere. Can't afford a billboard, can't afford a commercial, can't out-budget these big businesses that are eating up the same wallet share as you. The only place where you could do anything, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, these platforms that are starting not to be free anymore. We live in this space.
Yeah.
We know the space. Yeah. We know that Facebook and Instagram don't give you organic reach anymore.
No kidding.
You can't post a picture and all of your followers see it.
Remember when that used to be a thing?
That used to be how it is.
Like literally, you would post something and everyone who liked your page saw it.
And anybody who followed and wanted to be notified about it got to see it.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Man.
Okay, we got to bring up the video that blew our minds.
Okay.
That put us on the map, that grew our Facebook from 20,000 to 100,000.
Right. Big shout out to Apollo Ladra.
Apollo Ladra. So it was 2017. We were down at the Martial Arts Super Show down in Vegas, the Century Martial Arts Super Show. We were down there, kids in a candy store. It was our first year. No idea what we were doing, but we were going to go down there and start having a great time, meeting amazing martial artists, connecting with the community, learning about what this industry is all about. We've only known martial arts through our own lens, our own local lens. We didn't know what the industry's about. I didn't even know there was an industry. It's like,
we just heard that there was a martial arts convention.
Right. And we're like, that's a thing? Yeah. It's put on by Century. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Century. I know of Century.
Of Century.
Who doesn't know of Century, right? Like Century Martial Arts.
Yes.
It's
if you had a pair of gloves, it maybe said Century on it. Yeah.
Guaranteed. And who doesn't own a piece of Century gear?
Yeah, if you did martial arts, for sure.
So we went down there and had no idea what we were doing, but we were what, 2 years into Budo Brothers? A year and a half?
Yeah, close. Yeah.
2 years, maybe? 2
maybe
years.
2.
Yeah. And we're like, we're going to go. We're going to turn on the cameras. We're going to do a little documentary. We're going to interview martial artists. We're going to go. We're going to just hustle. And that's exactly what we did. We went down there and, man, we were the only dudes walking around with cameras in their face, walking in selfie mode, people looking at us like we're crazy because I'm walking down the aisle talking about this. You're filming. I'm filming. We're walking around like, who are these guys?
What are they? And this concept was new.
It was.
People didn't see it. And I remember doing it and feeling ultra uncomfortable.
Awkward. He was like, you're okay. All right. Don't make a scene.
And sometimes you get angry like, oh, we're ruining the time in order to film these things. 2 years after that, the script flip. I can remember it like walking into there and all of a sudden everybody had out their phone or camera recording this, talking about their live stream. And
which is great because that puts more martial arts on the map for more people, which maybe helps people consider that they might have their lives impacted by martial arts.
Now, this is where it gets tricky though. If we bring that back to a school owner's perspective, how do you stand out in the pure noise of it all?
No kidding.
And if I was to tack thoughtfully break it down of the most effective things I've seen in the e-commerce space that could translate to the service industry space, like a dojo. The first is you have to maximize a small budget. You have a very limited budget to have a shot at getting a client or a customer.
Yeah.
There are tools in Facebook, in particular. Facebook owns Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
That allow you to be more effective with your money.
Okay.
And if you have a dojo right now and you're not doing this, install a Facebook pixel.
Okay. What is a pixel?
Okay. If I was to explain it the easiest way possible, you know how when all of a sudden you search something
Yeah.
and then that thing appears in your feed nonstop and follows you around the internet?
Uh-huh.
That is because of a pixel. What it does is it records on your website every visitor. Anybody that has a Facebook account that goes to your site is now tracked and measured. Why this is important is because now, instead of taking $100, which you have of marketing, and saying, spread it to all martial artists. Okay, let's niche it out. All martial artists in my city. It's not accurate. What you can do with this pixel, though, is say, I want to send this advertisement about this promotion to anybody that's visited my webpage, anybody that's been on my Instagram page, anybody that's been to my Facebook.
Or who liked this video.
Or you can take a lookalike of all the stats of those people.
What does it look like?
It takes all the information of everybody that visited your page.
Okay.
And it says, they're this age, they're this, these are their interests, this is how they shop, this is the sites that they go to, because it's following you around the internet.
They know everything. They know everything.
Yes. And they say, this is all the information. Let's make a sample population with all these stats of those type of people.
The same attributes.
And market to them.
Interesting.
And they're effective.
Interesting. Okay, so if I'm a school owner, how could I leverage that?
You can leverage it by not wasting your money on invaluable customers.
Okay.
So, like a good funnel would be was to post a lot of organic, eye-capturing things to get attention. So a video maybe does 100 views. This one does 160. All these videos start getting attention. And maybe you do some things talking about a blog on your site. You just drive traffic and raise awareness.
Okay. Get eyeballs.
Yep. And what you do from that is say, rather than market my specific promotion to people who may not be interested in buying right now, I know these people are interested in what I'm doing because they are watching my content, going to my website, engaging with me. I'm going to send a promotion to this small group of people. Now, if you're anything like me, when you're scrolling through Instagram, your thumb is on fire, right?
You're scrolling. So you need a scroll stopper.
Scroll stopper, and also you need to be shown in somebody's feed more than once. A lot of times. A lot of times people unconsciously miss it the first time.
Yeah. So I've heard some crazy stats around how many impressions it takes to convert. It's high. Like it's way higher than you would think.
It's like 7 touch points.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah. And why brands take so long to build.
So as a school owner, getting back to that, so how can I leverage how I've got a school in Wisconsin.
Yes.
How am I going to use a pixel to drive traffic and get new students into my school?
So first, I'm assuming most people have a web page, right?
And if you don't,
businesses,
how do you make one?
Yeah. Okay. I'll go back.
Let's take it from the top, man. Okay. We're here to provide value.
This is my recommendation. Right now on the market, I would not hire somebody and pay them
don't waste
$5,000, $10,000 for a website.
Yeah.
There are tools out there on the internet that are really effective at building websites. One of my favorite platforms for a new business owner or a martial arts school is Squarespace.
Oh, man, that's what got us in the game.
Squarespace was our first site when we had no idea what we're doing.
Two idiots, not a clue of what they were doing, figured out how to build an immaculate website that we still get comments on, even though it's about to die.
And if you really have no idea what to do with websites, it's drag and drop. It literally is drag and drop, and you can YouTube tutorial your way to success.
It's true. That's the truth.
Yeah, you can YouTube tutorial your way to success and figure it out.
So I feel like the number one barrier is I have to learn how to do.
Yes.
But think about the asset that you would be building if you learned and listened to us when we say it. It's literally, if you can drag and drop a photo, you can build a website and control your messaging, control the content. You don't have to call up your developer and say, hey, there's a special on this month.
And not to mention, too, traditional marketing and sales was ultra time intensive. Ring, ring, ring. Hi, can I interest you in a promotion? No, okay. Ring, ring, ring. Hi, how are you today? Can I da-da-da-da?
You sound like a really good vacuum salesman.
Oh my gosh.
You've smiled and dialed before. I know you have.
I've sold my soul on a telephone in a few businesses.
You're a hustler. I know it.
It's not any easier. It's so time intensive.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. So of course, building an online system is going to be work too. It's not magic.
Yes.
It's going to take the time to learn the platform.
And the juice is worth the squeeze.
So if you can bear with it and get through that, you will have a website.
Nice.
Now, Facebook has a front end, which everybody is familiar with.
What does front end mean?
So what most people experience when they go to Facebook, they see their feed, they see all that. That's their front end.
Okay.
There's also a back end,
Okay.
a behind the scenes part of Facebook called the business manager, the business side of Facebook. And you can sign up for that.
Okay. So I have a school, I create a web page, I get a Facebook account, and now
you need to sign up for a Facebook business account.
Business account. Okay.
For your page.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yes.
So I've got that. I got my website, signed up with a Facebook business account. Now what am I going to do?
Now you need to hit back the YouTube tutorials.
Woo! Okay.
Or Facebook tutorials.
And go learn.
Because this stuff is not 100% clear, but it's very easy to learn. It's not difficult. You just need to know a little bit more information to get past this barrier.
Okay.
And that's the pixel part.
Okay.
So once you have a Facebook account,
Yes.
they give you a code.
Okay.
And you just need to know where within the business manager to find that code.
Okay.
Take that code and plug it into your website.
Okay. And again, I can YouTube this.
This is all YouTubeable.
Okay. So YouTube how to install Pixel on my webpage.
Yeah. And you could even
Squarespace.
type Squarespace.
Squarespace Pixel.
Yeah. How to install Pixel on Squarespace. Like it's that simple.
And FYI, we're not pumping Squarespace because we don't get a kickback or anything.
We're on Shopify right now.
We're
We've migrated.
We're moving from Squarespace to Shopify just because the e-commerce tools are just that much more powerful right now at the time of this podcast.
Yes.
But there's tons of tools. There's Wix. There's, WooCommerce. There's all kinds of different tools out there.
WordPress.
But
everything.
literally.
It doesn't matter which of them you're using. We're just saying Squarespace because that's what we started with. We had a great experience.
And you can customize it to the max.
So basically what you need to do is to have this website and a pixel.
Okay.
The pixel is going to gather all the information.
Yes.
And the website is pretty much a nice flashy business card in order to provoke people to take an action.
Okay, so there's an offering. You're talking about your school. You talk about you've got videos of your dojo. You've got the curriculum. All of the goods.
You're intriguing them into doing something at your school.
So how do I drive traffic to my page?
Firstly, you hit the pavement on the organic route.
Okay.
Posting as much as possible.
And if I'm uncomfortable with that, how do I get over that?
You get over it by just doing it.
It's the truth. There is no other way is to just do it. And you know what's so funny? I know for a fact both you and I hated the camera when we first started.
It was the worst talking to the camera.
How would we had no like? Oh, that sounds stupid.
64 takes.
What are people gonna think? You know, and that's probably some of our best content.
Yes. And one tip I could give anybody about talking in front of a camera: don't lead with your ego.
Okay.
You're not out to prove that you're the best, because most likely somebody on the world is better than you.
Yeah.
You don't need to flaunt or to show off or to come from an egoic place. Mm-hmm. Authenticity pierces through everything.
It's the max.
You just need to explain where you're at on your journey, what your purpose is, and what you're trying to accomplish with this content.
And be who you are.
If that's an educational piece, don't let them know that it's going to work every time, all the time. This is the most effective move on the planet. Just be real.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
And raw.
How
many times have we seen it where we're like, oh, this video is going to go nuts. It's going to go great. Because we produced it. So we put in all the effort. We've been doing this. And it's like crickets. Yeah. And then we put up what we think is just garbage content. We put it up and it goes bananas.
100,000%.
Like, that's crazy. So getting back, I don't think we ever finished the story talking about content that we didn't think was that valuable.
Yeah.
When we never finished the story from the Martial Arts Super Show. When we went down to the Martial Arts Super Show and we filmed Apollo Ladra.
Yes.
And we literally were like, we met Apollo Ladra. We're like, man, yeah, obviously he's incredible. He's an incredible practitioner. And we're like, let's film some content. Hey, teach some stuff. Show us your art. And he's like, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I don't know. Just teach.
We didn't even know about Filipino martial arts. Do some stuff.
Show something.
Spin that stick.
Yeah, just teach us something. Yeah. And we literally, two idiots, no idea what we're doing.
The focus was off. It was too in tight. It was
terrible. It was shot on a 50mm lens.
Yeah.
It was handheld. We had no idea what we were doing. But we literally captured everything. And probably we started going through all the content that we had put together. Now, the other thing that I would highly recommend every martial arts school owner learn is how to edit videos.
Yes. Before that, though, I would just want to add one point. It's important to get good quality video too.
Yes.
Even if you're using a phone or like a Osmo or something like that, you need to have clear picture and good sound. Mm-hmm. Or else nobody's going to give it any attention.
For sure. Yeah. But iPhone cameras are insane these days.
Oh, they're amazing.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So we put out all our fresh content coming out of this, and literally, do you remember this? We were running out of material. We were running out of content, and we're like, oh, what haven't we posted? Like, I think because we literally didn't think anything of it because we shot the video in a conference room.
Right.
And we didn't think it was that. We're like, it's amazing. It's good content. We didn't know that it was going to go bananas.
And 6 million views bananas.
6.7 million views. That it went bananas.
Yeah.
That was our first video that went nuts. So that gave us a pix that all those eyeballs that viewed that video were on our pixel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And it skyrocketed. More attention, more followers. On the school owner side of things, though, 6 million views is very unlikely unless you're talking about generalized content, not location specific content. Mm-hmm. Hundreds of views, thousands of views, tens of thousands of views. Those are all things that you're working for. But don't try to overguess the viral content. Just kind of what we're trying to bring up with this point.
Listen to the tea leaves.
Just put it out there and see what organically happens.
Let the market decide.
And then from the organic reaction of what you're putting out there, you can start putting in more energy into the things that are catching attention.
So in the noise, one of the questions you asked was, how do you differentiate yourself? And maybe let's expand on that a little more. What can martial arts school owners do to differentiate themselves because everyone's going to be doing this now. Like you have to. If you're not marketing yourself online, you don't exist.
So, like we were talking about, being effective with your market spend. So, getting the Facebook pixel, putting it into the website, making the content, and being potent with who you build this audience with.
Yeah.
Because eventually ad spend becomes important. But before that, you need to differentiate yourself through being authentic, being you.
Nice.
Because martial arts at the end of the day is just martial arts. It's punching, kicking, weapons training, just in different formats.
There's only so many ways to do it.
Just like there's only so many ways to do a t-shirt. There's only so many ways to do a hoodie.
Yeah. Unless it's the hood gi. That is only one way to do the hood gi.
You have to showcase the pieces that make you unique as a human. Your teaching style, the way you engage with people, the way you talk to people.
Your philosophy, your unique take, that niche.
How you took this art and fused it. And
your story.
And how you're able to connect to people.
Yes.
And,
Love it. That's because your story is what makes you unique.
Yes. And pretending to be the best that's never going to work.
And you can sniff it out from a mile away.
And unfortunately for a lot of people, the cheesy sales tactic era is done. Click here and get this free thing and then da. Like it's different now.
So if we take a page out of nature's book,
okay,
I feel like you got to start with fruit. Start with
fruit or seed.
Fruit. No, fruit. You start with fruit. In order for the tree to spread its seed, it starts with fruit because the animal that eats the fruit shits out the seed however many yards away. It started with sweetness. It started with value.
So what is valuable to a potential martial artist right now? Quickly, because I know you're on the hot topic.
Knowledge, man. That's it. It's like wisdom. It's knowledge. It's know-how. It's learning. And think about it, man. There has never been a time where self-defense has now become a consideration for everyone. People that felt safe in their neighborhoods might not feel very safe right now.
Right. So you have the fruit.
So starting with fruit, meaning starting with value, starting with education, giving without asking, literally creating a video that is nothing but pure value. No ask, no sign up for my newsletter, no join my mailing, nothing. Value. You're here to teach something that has helped you, that you know if other people learned would help them. That's a fruit. And hopefully that fruit is so tasty to the viewers that are consuming the content that they start coming to your tree because they know it's good.
And for all my ROI heads out there, return on investment people who are sitting like, that makes no financial sense at all. You're right. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of blind faith. With the retargeting, the Facebook pixel, you're able to hit those people on a consistent basis.
And build your audience.
And convert them. But the real magic is truthfully in the fruit. If you over-deliver on expectation and just wow people with the type of content you're putting out, it will pay dividends.
And it's a seed that you're planting that won't yield fruit until the tree has grown.
Yes.
And it takes time.
It takes a lot of time. That's the difference. Is that form of marketing is
long game.
It's a long game. It's a lot more time expensive. It's a lot more prolonged gratification. And it's harder.
Big time.
It's harder. And the other thing is consistency. It's hard to consistently post all the time.
man, we try to post daily, and how hard is it? It's so easy to fall off.
We mess up every now and then,
especially recently, man. We got to get it together.
Totally. It's not easy.
It's the path less traveled,
and I can't count how many school owners I hear or how many people I hear just wanting to offload this issue. Like, I want somebody to handle all this for me. I want to take this off my plate. I want to give this to somebody.
Easy route.
That's a straight up death sentence unless you are an ultra profitable company. You need to learn how to sell your business, which essentially is selling yourself nowadays.
Truth.
Because just like we talked about the authenticity, you are selling you as the person. If you want a product, go to Amazon. Like,
nowadays,
you want a cookie cutter thing, join a cookie cutter program online.
Right.
But if you want the true martial arts experience with somebody who's going to care and show up and teach you in a way that you're going to understand and you feel welcome and confident and safe,
there's only one way to do it.
And there's only one person that can do that.
Exactly. That's really good stuff. So, based on how did you learn how to do what you do? Like, what resources can you refer people to that could learn how to market like this? Just YouTube? Just go out there and YouTube things?
I would say that there's a few key things that you need to research.
Okay.
Research Facebook pixels.
Okay.
Research your email marketing.
Okay. Email marketing.
Like a MailChimp or a Klaviyo or whatever the heck you're using.
Yeah.
And then research web design. But to actually learn how to do those things, you can't go to school. It's too slow.
Or by the time that they're teaching you the things, it's already outdated.
Yeah. You can't get a coach. Like these
we've tried that.
Right. You can't get a coach and
Thanks,
like
coach.
show you. Yeah. Like that doesn't happen. You have to go to the fastest information source on the planet, and that to date is YouTube.
Getting into the trenches and getting into battle is the only way you're going to get frontline knowledge.
Yeah. Go on YouTube and test and measure. And the beautiful thing is once you do that enough, then you can start looking for people to help you out because you know the language.
You understand what you need.
Yes, you understand what you need, and you can't be taken advantage of.
Because there's a lot of that happening right now.
Too much.
And that's what's so sad because so many people are like, this is a thing. And now there's a lot of Mr. Know-It-Alls that don't know a thing that are trying to sell you some garbage.
Right. And from my experience, the best media buyer is somebody that buys Facebook ads and
runs your account.
They're so good at it that why the hell would they sell your product? I could sell any product of myself on the planet.
Yeah, right.
The best media buyers don't work for people.
They make their own money because they know the script.
Yeah, like why would I take on a fleshy problem when I could just move products because I'm good at Facebook ads?
Yes.
So just know that when you're talking to somebody on the phone about coaching you on this product, they're probably not the alpha in the industry.
And that's frontline knowledge.
Yes.
Love it. All right. So Kyle, what is a Budo Brothers challenge that you would leave school owners with this episode?
The Budo Brothers challenge. No matter where you are on your marketing system, whether you're feeling efficient with advertising online or whether you're new to it, challenge yourself to spend an hour, a whole hour, researching new tactics on YouTube.
Nice.
I guarantee that hour will change the game for you.
Love it. Beautiful. And that's what I love about this new ecosystem of YouTube. YouTube incentivizes the creation of epic content. The people that you're going to be learning from are paid by their video views to deliver you relevant content in what you want to learn, and that's how they make their living. So of course it's going to be the best that they can produce. And that's what's so cool about the day and age that we're living in, is that all the knowledge is all at our fingertips.
Here's a question before we sign off. For business,
Okay.
e-commerce,
Yeah.
who has been a better teacher to you? Traditional college or YouTube?
YouTube, man. Come on, dude.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, dude.
Think about the cost of either.
Yeah, no kidding. A university degree versus a typing into a keyboard.
That's free for everybody.
Exactly. And so the missing ingredients is ambition and wanting to go and learn and install an asset into your operating system and not paying somebody else who's already developed the asset when you could bring that asset in-house and become a powerhouse.
Love it.
Let's sign off there.
All right, guys, if you are not following this podcast, make sure you hit that follow button. It was an honor being here today talking about these amazing things. Like, subscribe to all of our channels, and we will catch you
Next
on the
week.
flip.
We will see you then.
Bye.